Hey guys, what's going on? So welcome to, I guess, this little video. It's a candid one. I only learned what candid meant like 2 months ago, so I've been using it ever since because it sounds so fancy. It's kind of a candid video. It's just me, a pole, hospital room. I guess I'm just going to talk about what's going on in here really, because a lot of people do ask me about that and what it involves when I do come in to the hospital, so I guess I'm just going to kind of explain that. Sorry if I do sound a bit quiet, I'm just trying to be wary of the people in the room next to me, or if there's any nurses or anything all piled up outside the door listening to me and my soppy shit. So basically, as you guys know, I've gotten a little bit sick over the last 3 or so months. It has been more of a steady decline than anything else. It hasn't been a rapid drop in health. It's been since about, let's say, June, early June, late July, that I've started, late June, that I started to feel a bit crappy. My lung function started to stay at the percentage that it was and has stayed at for a couple of months now, which was around the 70s. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, being in the 70s. For most people with CF, they would take that as a massive win. Most of them will, as I said, will take that as a massive win. 70% is good, and for me 70% is good as well, but we know that I am capable of higher. I can usually manage to keep myself around the 80s, 90s. I've pretty much given up the hope of reaching the hundreds again. Now that's not because I know that I can't get there or anything like that. It's just purely because of CF factors. I'm getting older, I'm not getting any younger, my lungs aren't getting any healthier. The build-up of mucus is just going to keep deteriorating the lungs like what it is meant to do. And I know that, it's part of CF, it's how I have to deal with it. But that's one of the mental aspects too, is I know that my results aren't going to be what they used to be. I'm not going to be able to hold myself to that standard again. But the thing is, I've got to deal with the results that I have at the moment. I've got to fix that, see what we can get to, with obviously looking after myself 24/7 in here, and get out and go from there. But whilst I'm in here, what they do is they obviously hook me up to this bad boy through my PICC line, which is here in my arm. I'll see if I can get it out. Hold on, man. I come close to the camera so you can see that. That is gains. Look at those forearm veins, man. Bitches be jelly. But you can see the PICC line there. So basically what happens is that then runs from about here all the way up to just, hold on. Jeez, I told you this shit was candid. I'm not very good at this. All the way up to about here. So that's where that runs to. I do get that put in while I'm awake. It's quite fun. Not. And what happens is they then, during the day, they'll put the fluids through just to keep the line running. Obviously keep the veins open and reduce the chance of it being blocked. Oh, candidness. And then from there, I didn't say pardon. And then when that's not running, 3 times a day they'll give me antibiotics. The one that I'm on at the moment for the certain bug that is growing in me is called Tazocin. The bug that I mainly have growing in me is staph. You guys can look that up if you want to. Basically, it's one of the more common bugs that we'll get as a CF patient. I think I've grown Pseudomonas once, but that was back when I was on PEDS. That was one of my early admissions. One of my first actually, I think. so that's not too bad. I got rid of that, and yeah, the main thing that I grow is staph, and yeah, so we're in here to fix that up, get all that off the lungs. So that's pretty much what I'm doing in here. I guess another thing that I wanted to talk about was probably the mental aspect of it all, and kind of the things that have been happening lately that haven't necessarily helped my mindset, I guess. As I said, and I've said, 5 times, if you're having a drinking game based on this video and the amount of times that I say candid, be prepared to get wasted, because I'm going to say it a lot. But just before I came in here, I think it was the day that I was getting admitted, a lady by the name of Claire Wineland in the US, most of you guys who follow me would have more than likely followed her. You would have seen a lot of her videos, she did a TED talk. She was a very powerful educator and motivator for people with CF. She herself obviously had it. She has had a rough trot over the years. She's my age, and unfortunately she got to the point where she had to have a lung transplant, which is where most of us do end up, unfortunately. And everything went great. She had successfully gotten the lung transplant. It had all worked out for her, but unfortunately she suffered a stroke during her recovery process, and unfortunately she passed away, which is not very good. Kind of shook me around a bit, because obviously she's one of the ones who I've based the way that I look at CF and my life around. The way she looked at it, you've got to live your life every day. You've just got to, I watched a video this morning. It's been almost a week since she passed, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't stopped watching videos of her, all these memorial tribute ones. Life is precious, as she signed off in one of her last videos. Go out and live it, because there's someone out there fighting like hell to live their lives. Now, I never like to compare myself to others in my sickness. I'm pretty, it's really hard to say. I guess I've come to terms with it. That's why I do what I do with my life. That's why I do so much. That's why I go out and I travel and I go to concerts. I go to musicals. I go to Vane. Gains, man. Candid. But I just do everything with my life that I possibly can before shit will turn sour, before I reach the point of having to be on oxygen, if I ever do. Now that's a big thing too, is that this may never happen to me. I may never have to go for a lung transplant. I may never have to get on oxygen. I know that there's a potential for that, but I know that I need to keep myself healthy. This past week, I had a scare where I almost lost the pole, which just then. I was told that so we do a test. It's called an OGTT, oral glucose tolerance test. OGT test. Oh, I say one extra letter. OGT test. So it's oral glucose tolerance test, where basically they track my bloods, make me drink a sugary drink at 2 hours, and then they measure my blood sugar levels for the potential of CF-related diabetes. It came back in one of the higher ranges. It was kind of in that grey area. So there was a bit of a scare there where I could have potentially had CF-related diabetes. Fortunately, we think at this stage that it's all good, but there's the potential for that as well. And yeah, it's just a crazy thing that we deal with, and the mental side of things. As I said, Claire's death shook me around a bit. It freaked me out. She's my age, and 21. Like that's crazy. She doesn't get to do all the stuff that I will get to do. And with this new drug coming out, or Orkambi, there's the potential to add more years on my life. I'm eligible for it. The pipeline drugs that will be coming after that, it's just crazy to think that there's going to be hope for the future. There's going to be hope for those kids that are being brought up nowadays. Growing up, I kind of gave up, I guess. I don't really want to say gave up, because I don't give up, and that's just pure fact. Is that I kind of came to terms with the fact that there wasn't going to be much more hope than the 37, which I was obviously told so much about when I was a younger kid, and growing up during my teen years. I'm still in my teen years, but I'm technically an adult now, which is scary as fuck. But the fact that there is now hope for the people being born in this world today with CF is just crazy. The amount... I never used to be a big advocate for CF. This has only come across in the last... since I started going to the gym, which we'll say is like 4 years. I used to hide it. I used to be ashamed of it. I used to never talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't like talking about hospital. I'd disappear for 2 weeks when I was at school, and the kids would just think I'm sick, or I'd gone on a holiday, but I was in hospital. Just the fact that these kids aren't going to have to go through as much as I did growing up, hopefully, all things considered. Obviously this drug only affects Delta F508 sufferers at the moment, but the pipeline drugs in the future will just be ridiculously crazy. And I'm so thankful that Vertex have not pulled out of Australia. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, is that there were talks of that happening if Orkambi didn't get approved by the PBS this year. I know I'm not really thinking about what I'm saying now. I'm talking with my hands again. I do that often, but I know I'm probably just rambling shit, but it's just shit that I need to get off my chest. Obviously I've been in here for almost a week now. You tend to go a bit stir crazy. You tend to think about a lot of things, but I do get a bit down when I get my results back and they're not great. I get pretty angry at myself. I kind of second guess everything that I'm doing. I'm not gonna lie, there's a medication that we take, it's called hypertonic saline. It's meant to thin the mucus out, make it easier to obviously get out. I stopped taking that the week prior leading up to hospital, because I just thought, look, I've been doing everything right, nothing's working for me, my results are still shit. So what's the point in spending another half an hour on a machine that I don't have to each day? I just gave up, I stopped doing it. I stopped taking my vitamins years ago, because I just thought, okay, it's another tablet that I have to take, I don't want to take it, screw this. Since I've been in here, it's kind of turned me around a little bit. I've started taking the vitamins again. I've started doing my hypertonic again twice a day. I know, trust me, I know in my head that that's going to help me in the long run, but it just, at the time, if my mental space just takes over, it's just going to happen. And I'll stop doing it. I will not do it. I'll refuse to do it. And I hate myself for that sometimes, because I know that I've got to keep myself so healthy. But I'm never one to hold back with you guys and tell you, sit back and say, okay, yeah, I do this, do this, do this, do that, when I don't sometimes. And I'm sure you guys go through mental patches where you don't want to do anything. And especially getting older, we just want to live our lives. But at the end of the day, we got to do this shit. And I know it's going to take a toll on us mentally, and it's going to take a toll on us physically, but we've just got to do it. So if you are out there watching this video and you think you're not taking your meds, you're not taking your tablets, for years when I was a kid, I'd refuse to take my Creon, which is the main thing that helps me put on weight, because it was too many tablets. Like, years I struggled doing that. But if you're out there and you're listening to this, please just do it. We need to show this disease who the real boss is. We need to do this for the future of people with CF, to inspire the next generation to keep living as long as they can. Man, if someone is born today and they start Orkambi when they're 2, I think that's the age that they can start, 2.5 years. It's just, their life expectancy will be so much better. Like 37 compared to what they are looking at in the future is just crazy amount of hope for them. And yeah, I don't know what else to say, really. Just apart from the fact that there is hope. There's not many videos where you've really heard me say that, but there's hope for the future. There's hope for each one of us. As I said, I've been in an extremely lucky position with my health, the way I've been brought up and the way that I've lived so far. I've done most of what I've wanted to do with my life. There's a couple of other things that I'd really like to do. This year has just blown me out of the water. Being nominated for the Tasmanian Young Achiever of the Year, that was just next level. I was so honoured to just be nominated and then to win it. That is the biggest tick off my achievement list when it comes to Tasmania that I could possibly think of. I can't think of anything more rewarding and humbling than that, and that just changed me completely as a person and the way I outlook on things. And yeah, I don't know what to say. There's a life out there. Like, yeah, we struggle a lot, but I don't want to see CF patients in here. I think I speak for the nurses and the hospital staff as well. The more that we can see CF patients out there rather than in here, the better. I've had a lot of nurses come up to me this stay who have looked after me before, and the first thing they say is, "Wow, I haven't seen you in a long time. What's been going on? Like, where have you been? Have you been keeping healthy?" Whereas some of us are in here 4 to 5 times a year. So I just want to see the majority of people stay healthy. Get out there, get active, start doing all your meds, start doing everything, and we can all stay out there instead of being in here. And we can up those results, and we can live longer lives. We can just change it completely. Like, yeah. I know this, if you've gotten to this point in the video, like, I don't know why you're still here. Like, you must like the sound of my voice or my gorgeous face or something like that. But anyway, this video probably made 0 sense. It was just a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted to get off my chest. Obviously being in here, it does change a person, the amount of times that you do spend in here. But, oh, that's itchy. That's itchy. I hate these pads, man. It's so itchy. But I hope this explained a bit of what is going on in here, what goes on inside of me personally, what goes inside of here. Look, I'll look at doing a follow-up video once I get out of here, which shouldn't be too much longer, hopefully another 8 or so days. This stage I'm looking like I'm halfway through. We'll get my results tested next week, see if we're going up or down. But yeah, I just really wanted to make this video just to talk about it, because in a roundabout sort of way, this is what Claire used to do. She just used to chuck a camera down, talk in front of it, see what comes out. A bit of inspiration here, a bit of real life shit there, a bit of just shit talking everywhere. And that's all I want to do. I don't need a flashy camera. I don't need all these fandangle transitions and all that, although I'd love to do it. Sometimes you just need to sit down in front of a camera and talk and get your word out there. So thank you for watching if you did. You can thumbs up this video, you can down thumb this video, you can share this video. To be honest, I just needed to do it, so Alright, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Homies. Swag. Why am I going to flex that bicep? It's fucked up.